Yeah, so I came across a record the other night when I was on YouTube, and something popped up. It was one of Pharaoh's records, just entitled Pharaoh, and I noticed that you were on it, and started playing it and listening to a couple tracks, and yeah, I thought it was sweet playing, kind of. I didn't, maybe it wasn't too
early.
Too,
it was early, yeah. No, it was an inside thing.
Right.
When we were playing at the Vanguard, it was like bananas. But when we did this date at the police chief's house, no, it was mellow, it was sweet. Bob and Nancy Cummins, great people at the time. They were running India Navigation. It was an India Navigation record. And, they wanted us to play. They wanted Pharaoh to play, and I was playing with Pharaoh, so I was there, It was good. I enjoyed it, man. Yeah, good time, I'd say. Yeah. It was one of the more sweeter moments on record between me and Pharaoh. I wouldn't have it that way, but he would, He was in that mood. I wanted, deep and ferocious. I always feel better when it's that way. Ferocious. Not as a norm, but as part of it. Ferocity, cleansing, and peace. Right. Comment.
Right. Yeah, I would say it's maybe different than other stuff I've heard from you. There was one track, I think it was called maybe Harvest Time or something. He was calling it something like that, and you just kind of had a sweet mood that you were setting on the guitar. Maybe just a couple chords. Maybe a little effect on there or something.
Yeah, for that was not a problem. It's not like being a jazz chord player, which is what I still aspire to become at some point in the future. I have the mind for it, but I don't have the muscles for it. See, I don't have the pain anymore, so it's giving me a little leeway in terms of muscles, but it's like I'm still starting. So I don't have the chord muscles. I don't have the strength. See, so I'm still like behind them, beneath the standard. But I enjoy not having pain, and I can still play single lines without any problem. So I enjoy it. So what else in terms of that?
Being a bass player, I did notice, I did enjoy hearing Steve Neal. I hadn't heard too much of his playing otherwise, but I thought he sounded pretty good on the record as well.
Oh, he's a great player, man.
Yeah.
We were friends. We were on tour with Pharaoh. We were buddies. I was always buddies with the rhythm section. We'd be off in Tarleton, right, in every case. Then Pharaoh would be the additional instrument, but I love playing with the cats on the road, as a trio or a quartet. We had piano, right? It's always then different, and then we sort of like warm up for Pharaoh so that when he would come out, we'd be able to support his thing, which is to communicate what his message was to the people on his terms. So I remember when we did a club in Chicago. Pharaoh came in the back room saying, "Man, this guy wants me to play my old tunes. Man, I ain't come here to play no old tunes." He said, "I ain't gonna play no old tunes, but he should play those old tunes himself." Something like that. "We're gonna play what I need to play now." And I said, "Oh, that's good. Always ready to do that." I said, "So let's go out there and play, see how it goes." So he was receiving requests. He said. He didn't feel obligated to honor the request. So he had to play who he was then, not what he was several years before, or farther earlier, even more down the track of time. He said, no, we're going to play now, what we play. Come in.
Yeah, definitely. So just judging by the mood of the night, picking the tunes or, what's needed, feeding off the audience. Or
artists in general are usually evolving. Right, apart from their business obligations, and too often, especially in regards to high caliber players, they have obligations. They have to meet those obligations. Whether you're McCoy Tyner, Elvin Jones, or whatever, you got to meet the obligations of the industry. And they're paying you. They're paying your bills, so they want you to provide the audience or the public with what they believe the public wants or needs from you. I've heard that many times. I've been right at the heart of that conversation. So I'm glad I don't have any needs like that. See, I'm not better. I'm just simpler than most of these other people are in terms of their complications and sufferings. And no, what's simple is that I play what's true for me. It's given that way. I'm not depending on the industry in a certain way. I got to play what's true for the few. I play what's true for the few. Sometimes that includes musicians, and always great musicians that come in. For the few. Music for the few. Rock Alarm is one of the few. Paul Schaefer is one of the few. Don Pate is one of the few. We have John Medeski is one of the few. These are like regular people. Right? Mm-hmm. Johnny Lockwood is one of the few. Mm-hmm. Marilyn Crispell is one of the few. Robbie Coltrane is one of the few. Mm-hmm. He can play anything. So he's playing what he needs to play in terms of continuing his contribution. See? It's the right thing for him to do. Coming?
Yeah, and I know you've had the opportunity to. I know you were with Phil Ramone, for some years there, So you certainly had the opportunity, and they were pretty much laying it out for you that you could have, these bands and these cats in this band.
Absolutely.
You saw it more as maybe as an inhibitor.
Well, no, it was a temptation for me.
Mm-hmm.
See, it was seduction. See, I know her. Right? It was a seduction. See, to take me off my trajectory, see, my line, see, and a lot of people feel that I was foolish in refusing what was offered to me at the time. I'm not foolish. I'm guided by a higher purpose and a higher light, and if you read my writings, you see that I've been true to that. Those lyrics are for real. They're relative to the real music, not the industry's music. Mm-hmm. This is different, not the commercial side of the universe. This is the native side. I stay true to the native. See? And I was with Phil and his wife, Karen, and their children. Their beautiful family was a different world. Right? A beautiful world, but not what I would take from exactly. Yeah. I have my own thing, and I have to honor what I've been given, and I honor it. I honor them too. Beautiful people. Great people. Great musician, Phil. Had good times with him. Ate with him many times, man. Sweet times. Right? He still didn't understand me, but he's not supposed to understand this, and I'm not supposed to go that way. Yeah. So you have to work from the inside out and be true to it. So I've had a lot of temptations, a lot of seduction. Seduction, exactly. I say, no, I'm very simple. My work is very simple. Straight line. To the ending here. So straight line to the end of this mission, this life. Feeling very clear about what it's been about and what it requires. Right? Simplicity. Integrity. Being true to the spiritual. Always. Come in.